Welcome back to the Wolfcast podcast, everybody. I'm the Tru Alpha, here with my talented sister May.
Hi.
Oh God, it's back.
I have my voice back. Yep.
And my brother from another mother, Fang.
Hey, what's up?
Today's topic is like medical, medicine, and all that fun stuff. Not fun stuff, actually. Anyways,
Medicine's fun. It's it's amazing to see how it's come in the millennia that it's been around.
the
So,
only thing I worry about coming is myself. Oh
oh
shit, can we
my
say that on? Can we
god,
say that
Yes,
on?
you can say that.
Alt F4, I'm out. I quit.
We used to think cocaine was a good thing.
I mean, they put it in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but we used to think cocaine, meth, all that. We were like, oh, your back hurts. Here's some meth.
Here's some meth.
Vibrators were originally made for what was called insane women.
Mm-hmm.
The women who,
What?
yes,
Yeah.
vibrators were originally made because they quote unquote calmed insane women.
Could you imagine? Okay, I shouldn't laugh because it's nothing funny about like someone being like psychotic or whatever, but it's gonna make me chuckle. Just like I could just imagine some crazy woman just being like just going batshit sane and like say they're locked in a jail cell and the officer's like, here, fucking chucks a vibrator. Like what the fuck?
I mean, it was a legitimate thing, and the vibrators back then were fucking scary looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you look up like early 1800s vibrators, they're fucking
I
terrifying.
don't know if I want to.
Well, also somewhere in what was it? Granville invented a vibrator as a medical device for men to be used on various body parts, basically to
Yeah,
treat pain, spinal disease, and deafness. So it wasn't meant originally for sexual gratification. It was meant for muscle aches and, moving bones and stuff around to relieve pain.
yep. It was
Uh,
a it was a hell of a time. Then you also had the early days of lobotomy,
mm-hmm.
which was literally just an ice pick that would be inserted through the nose up into the brain, and then the guy who invented this shit would just sit there and stir around your brain a little bit to cure
Frontal lobe,
uh
yeah.
That
it,
reminds me of the pandemic when like everybody was freaking out because they were like shoving that shit up your nose and they're like, it's touching my brain.
well, the funny thing is that guy he was so like well renowned. His entire thing was like, oh yeah, only like 30% of my patients have died. And it's like, hold up, motherfucker.
Yeah, Freeman
Hold
was the
up.
guy who did it.
Yeah. And it was a while before he was ever charged and whatnot for the murders.
Mm-hmm.
Because he swore up and down that his new age lobotomy would solve all of mankind's problems.
Well, it was used to treat like severe mental health conditions or
But it
like
didn't
it
help.
didn't help, no. But
It,
they
it
saw it as
literally
a cure for everything.
it literally fucked your brain to the point where you were unable to take care of yourself.
Mhm.
You
Uh,
would become mentally handicapped.
Rosemary Kennedy actually had a lobotomy.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see, it was in her young years that she had like seizures and violent mood swings, so they gave her a lobotomy. But it permanently incapacitated her and rendered her unable to speak intelligently. So yeah, it's lobotomies are scary, man.
Knew it. So
Doctors are scary.
actual modern day lobotomies, which I don't think actually exist,
No, I don't think so.
but when they were still using lobotomies and they realized this guy was fucking stupid and insane, they actually came up with a somewhat okay way of doing it. I say somewhat okay loosely because it's still incredibly fucked up to do this to a person.
Huh. So apparently, a lobotomy-like procedure called a lobectomy is on the rise. Basically, an excellent way to treat extreme cases of epilepsy.
Yeah, because you can't be epileptic if your fucking brain doesn't work in the first fucking place. I don't care what you call it. I don't care what you say it's good for. Like, yes, of course you cured. What would be a certain brain condition? Or epilepsy. Yeah, of course you cured the epilepsy when the brain can no longer register the colors in the first fucking place.
Mm.
Like, We cured him. No, you just moved the problem somewhere else.
Yeah, apparently, unlike Freeman's go through the eyes technique, these surgeries are performed to a very precise way. They may leave patients with a slightly different personality, but they are able to return to a normal life.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Slightly.
They're also far more likely to survive without suffering from brain damage and seizures.
Uh-huh.
That's still scary.
That's still somebody going into your brain, fucking with some shit, and then, magically you're fine.
What was it? Back in the day, Cleopatra filled a gourd full of bees and used it as a
Yep.
layer.
Yes, she did.
How about no?
Gotta love her.
3000, Alex.
But no,
Gotta fuck.
everyone knows what medicine is, but it really started to emerge after the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century.
When we started to care about personal health.
But you actually have your father of medicine, Hippocrates. So he's considered to be the father of modern medicine because in his books, which are more than 70, because, Hippocrates, he described it in a scientific manner that many diseases and the treatment of, and after detailed observation, that, it's not the gods that cause us to get sick. We weren't being punished by the gods. It was actual, disease, like
There was
an
actually
illness.
things fucking with us.
So it is funny. It's like, it's not the gods that are giving us sickness. You're just dumb.
You're stupid.
You're stupid.
I don't know what happened to me as a kid to like fear the doctors or the hospitals so much, but like something had to have happened along the lines. Like I remember getting my tonsils taken out. I remember, something for my leg when I was really young. I remember getting a wart removed off my knee, but like I don't remember something around down along the pipeline. They terrified me to where I did not go for 17 years until this past
I
week.
think it's the needles in the atmosphere, and
The needles don't bother me. I've gotten fucking tatted
I've
up.
got tattoos
There's
too,
a
but needles still scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, there's a massive difference between tattoos and
Yeah,
tattoos.
that was actually one of the things because I was getting blood work done that day, last Tuesday, and she's like, "All right, you're gonna feel a slight pinch," and I was just like, "Okay." Like like mentally, I was like going in there before I got there. I was like, "I hope I don't get poked with a needle. I hope I don't get poked with a needle." And then she stuck the needle in, and I was like, I kind of like chuckled to myself inside my head. Like, this doesn't hurt. And then I looked down, saw all the blood coming out into the tubes, and I was like,
Blood has never bothered me. Needles have always bothered me, and like I have tattoos. But again, there's a difference between a 5-inch long needle and a fucking tiny little.
blood doesn't bother me, but like the amount of blood I got taken out that day,
That
I
doesn't
was
bother
just
me.
like, I saw it. I was like, no, God.
I'm just the
But
wuss. But
but now I'm on like 3 different meds that I have to take, and I've never had to deal with that in my life. It's a scary fucking process.
I dislike going to the doctors just because I know they're gonna draw blood, gonna tell me something I don't want to hear.
That and then the fucking bill at the end. I still
Oh
haven't
my
been billed.
God.
I
The
don't know.
price of everything medical is so inflated, and most doctors think it's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
$10 for one thing of ibuprofen, $15 for a Band-Aid. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think because actually I had 4 medicines I had to take, but one was a one-time thing, and I don't want to talk about it on stream. Fang knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I took that, and then so in total, I think I paid almost $40 for all 4 meds.
That's not bad, actually. That's
Shit.
really good.
It's not. It really wasn't bad, but I don't have anything to compare it to because I've never bought meds, and when I go and picked up my father's meds, it's all free through his insurance.
I know
So
one
like,
medicine I went to go
I've never
buy.
been able to compare.
No, I had a medicine that wanted me to take that was $500, and that was with insurance. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah, my insurance covered, I think, in total like $5.
Yeah. My thing about especially like behavioral medications, I don't trust them. Mainly because I've been on behavioral meds. There was an instance actually when I lived in the neighborhood you live in, Alpha, that I had to take behavioral medication as per my doctor's orders, which were clearly stated if I did not take this medication, I would end up in jail.
Scare tactic.
So my mom was
What did you
afraid.
say?
Scare tactic.
Yeah,
I
scare
thought you
tactic.
said, was it a big dick? I was
No,
like, what?
basically
No.
telling your kid they're going to go to jail or they're going to die is the biggest scare tactic to get them to do something.
Pretty
Yeah.
fucking much.
You ever tell your son that?
No.
No. But so they put me on this medication. It's been off of testing for like a week. I don't remember what it called. I only remember that it started with a Z. That's all I remember about it.
Hydrate.
No. It wouldn't surprise me, but no. And my mom said I didn't have to take it after the first month of me taking it because it stopped me from being ADHD and all this other shit. I was a regular normal kid, but I wasn't energetic. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to eat. I stuck to my room more so than normal. And it would be like, okay, it's spaghetti for dinner. I wouldn't be excited about it. I'd grumble when I'd had to come in there and eat because I just didn't have an appetite. Behavioral medication most of the time isn't worth it just because of the side effects that it can cause and how it can alter your brain functionality almost.
Yeah, that's one big reason why. Like, even if I don't know how to explain it. Like the doctor told me that, you're not gonna have like those kind of side effects that like you're mentioning, like affecting my brain or anything. But like I don't like taking medicine anyways. Like, I'll have a headache till like to the point where I can't stand it anymore. And I'm like, all right, I suffer defeat. Give me the ibuprofen. Give me the Advil, whatever. Like, I hate taking pills. I hated cough syrup.
That's
Like, I
it,
hated taking anything.
it's part of the reason why, and I'll swear by it right now. People can fucking call me what they want. Weed is probably the best mental fucking medication you could have.
It really is, like, and that's the thing. Hemp and all that and has so many medicinal
why?
benefits, but it's not used because it would put Big Pharma out of business.
No, you know why weed was originally made illegal?
It's just another thing like how in alcohol, it's just a war on
No,
drugs, essentially. It's
no.
mm,
It has nothing to do with any of that. The reason why hemp became illegal, which is the main thing weed is made out of, for those who don't know, the main reason why hemp was made illegal is because it was cheaper and easier to access than what we make paper out of. The entire process of making paper and all that fun shit would be null and void if we just started using hemp.
well, that's what I meant. It also would put like they make great shirts, make great paper. It would put so many businesses out of business because
Yep.
it's cheaper and more easily able to,
Well, you said big pharma.
well, Big
That's why I
Pharma
said
too,
no.
yeah.
I mean, it has nothing to do with big pharma.
Oh no, trust
Or at
me, it
least
does.
it didn't. It does now. It didn't originally because big pharma didn't exist back then. We didn't care what we were shoving in our bodies for that to matter. We're like, again, the whole "hey, meth is good for you" type
Well,
mentality that
that
we
and
had.
also the U.S. made marijuana illegal because of the Mexicans. Like they had a fear of
Oh
Mexican
yeah,
immigrants that led to the criminalization of marijuana because it's
well, that was the anti-marijuana I guess commercials you could say back in the day
yeah.
that were running at the time. It was, "Hey, do you hate Mexicans?" And everybody back then was like, "Fuck yeah, we do."
Yeah, it's like they were saying that marijuana would make, men of color violent. So they went to
Yeah,
go make it illegal. I'm like,
it was more.
I've never seen these commercials. I've seen the ones where like, this is your brain on drugs, and like you would be laying there
This
like
is
all
like
flat.
really. This is like really old school fucking 1950s commercials, 1940s commercials.
well, it's also
that-
to end up understanding how we ended up there. It was back in the early 1900s, just after the Mexican Revolution, there was an influx of immigration from Mexico into the states, like Texas and Louisiana. And
Yep.
so they would call it marijuana, and they were just familiar with cannabis. But basically, they were saying that, it was as bad as crack and smack and all that, that it was, would cause these men to go crazy and commit violent crimes. And so, in order to keep, them out of the country in a way or keep them from being violent, they would ban and make marijuana illegal.
Yeah, it's a similar fear tactic to what happened with Norse men. So
Mhm.
way back in the early days, one of the main reason your fucking early Saxons were afraid of the Nordic men is because the Nordic men showered and like shaved, and they were good looking men because they showered, they cleaned themselves, where the Saxon men didn't. So they were like, Saxons are evil because they bewitch our women and yada 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 yada. And it's like, okay, hold up. Wait a minute. Wait just a fucking minute here.
Oh yeah. It's funny. Like your first modern pharmaceutical medicine was invented back in 1804 by Frederick Sertiner. He was a German scientist. He basically extracted the main active chemical from opium in his library and created morphine and named it after the Greek god of sleep.
Yeah.
So the first actual drug ever created was morphine.
Hooray, morphine.
That's for Morpheus, right?
No, I don't think Morpheus was a Greek god.
We'll find out.
Greek god of sleep. I'm not familiar with a Greek god of sleep.
Hypnos.
He's probably one of the Hypnos. Okay.
But why name it morphine? Because the Greek god of sleep is Hypnos.
Look at his Roman name. Most Greek gods have a Roman.
Morpheus. True,
Yeah,
Morpheus.
okay.
So yeah, that's right.
His Roman name is Morpheus. His Greek name is Hypnos.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay.
That's cool.
So technically, it's not named after the Greek god of sleep. It's named after his Roman integration, because the Greeks and the Romans they worship the same gods, but they're different. Don't say they're not.
But no, medicine itself through the history has been amazing. Like the life expectancy back in 1850 was 36.6 years old, and throughout the years after medicine and learning how to better, help ourselves with our health and stuff, the average life expectancy is now like 78, 80, almost 90 years old. Due to like immunization and disease prevention, like the acknowledgement of mental illness, better cancer research, better surgery, and able to get, freaking computers to operate on you, which is pretty cool.
I don't know how I feel about the whole computer. The reason why, so when I say this, I understand humans can have their own issues. Like a human can fuck up. I'm not saying a human can't. But when a human fucks up, they can usually fix their fuck up, or there is another human available to fix the fuck up. When a robot fucks up its programming, it doesn't know how to do anything else. And there isn't another robot on standby going, oh, this one fucked up. And even then, that one could fuck up if there was. I don't know. I would much rather have a human doctor operate on me than sit under the robotic arm. It might be steadier, it might be more accurate, and that's great until it's not. Until the power goes out mid-operation, until a glitch happens and it slices an artery, all this different shit. It's great technology is going far, but I would much rather have a human hand operating on my body than a robotic arm.
Yeah. But it's cool to see that happen,
Oh yeah, it's great. It's very cool. I just had my own preference. It's another thing where like, with how the life expectancy and shit is going, I would almost say we didn't, at least in the early days, expect for our life expectancy to go up. Because now we're facing certain things like overpopulation, contrary to what the American government would have you believe, since they're banning pretty much fucking every form of contraceptive. We are vastly overpopulated as the human race. We are the largest race of animals in the world, period. There is no, except for maybe like microorganisms, there might be more of those. Who fucking knows? I don't have a microscope. But as per mammals, we are the largest existing species.
Yeah.
That is very terrifying.
Yeah.
It's great that we have brought our life expectancy up. It's great that we're not losing unnecessary life, but now we're facing overpopulation issues, and nature is taking that over. I'm still a firm believer that, back in the day, you might not have been born gay or wrong gendered, But now that we're overpopulated, nature is going, hey, you guys should stop fucking for like 20 years.
If you don't want to get hurt, then you better stop.
Exactly. And you can't tell me nature doesn't do this thing either. When you look at certain species of frogs, salamander, even wolves, wolves during overpopulation, the big strong male will stop going after females and will actually start going after males. Because
Ah,
because
Rar.
that because that instinct to breed just gets taken away due to overpopulation. Frogs will go from the alpha frog will go from going after females. It'll actually change genders and become female so that the breeding stops, at least temporarily. It gives that break in nature.
Hmm.
So
oh,
great
frogs are
work.
transgender.
Certain species of frogs will change their gender. Yes.
Like snails. Snails are
Yep.
basically have no gender until they
There's
decide to mate, and then one decides to be the male, one decides to be the female.
Yep. There's also a species of sea slug that is a hermaphrodite. It has both male and female genitalia. And the way the male is decided is they do, and I quote, via the scientists who discovered the sea slug, they penis joust to
Yep.
determine who the father will be. And essentially what this is, if you haven't seen a video of it, I will enlighten you. I will give you the play-by-play. Two sea slugs approach each other. They become erect. They then start basically wrestling and trying to stab the other one with their dick. Whichever one gets off inside the other one first is the male in the relationship. There you go. There's your nature lesson.
Well, one comes out victor and the other one has a shitty day.
The one comes out the victor, the other one comes out the victor, the other one comes out pregnant. Like
ultimate game of
that's how
chance.
That's why when people are like, oh, gays are unnatural. Oh, transgender people are unnatural. No, they're not.
No,
They're
it's
literally
natural.
everywhere in nature.
Mhm.
You need to stop looking at humans as not animals and start looking at us as we are. We are animals, mammals under the scientific classification of Homo sapien.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
Exactly. It's literally stupid when people are like, humans aren't animals. Yes, we fucking are.
We
We
are
just
animals.
happen to be somewhat smarter than every other animal on the planet.
Mm-hmm. It's like octopuses when they reproduce, basically throws his penis at her. Here, go F yourself.
Yeah, the male octopus will rip his dick off and throw it at the female and go, here's a dildo. Good fucking luck. Like it boggles my mind. I know this isn't technically medical related, but it's just it's stupid the way people think sometimes.
Well, back on our medicine talk, a really great focal point for this is the movie Balto with
Yes.
the diphtheria, like immunizations and vaccines. I know with some people, vaccines are a very touchy subject, but vaccines have saved millions and millions of people's lives. They've
But they
saved
could go
them
wrong.
oh my God. Like, look at the Spanish influenza. It's responsible for 25 million to 50 million deaths worldwide.
I'm gonna be dead honest with you here for a quick moment. I thought you were about to say, "Look at the Spanish Inquisition."
Yes, the Inquisition. What a show!
I was about to be really confused.
Right. Well, that you have that, and then like polio vaccines, smallpox vaccines. All this stuff. It's amazing to see through trial and error how it's come to be. You've got your first X-rays back in 1895. Wilhelm Conrad invented X-rays, and the first X-ray was performed in Germany. Like it's cool to see where it's come from and how it's evolved. Like chainsaws. Chainsaws
Yes.
weren't meant for trees; they were eventually
No,
meant
they
for
weren't.
females during
Yes, they
birth.
were. Yep.
So-
They were meant to basically shatter the
They were meant
hips,
to
essentially.
No, they were meant to cut the bone to help get the baby out of the woman. It
And
was
then
meant to make it inside, make it bigger.
And then some dude along the line went, "Hey,
Get you tighter.
this would probably not be a good idea."
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Wait, no, it's a great idea. What do you mean?"
What do
No,
you
it's a
mean?
bad idea.
And then you have the really of medicine, like electroshock therapy and
Oh yes.
bloodletting.
Hey, is your son gay? Let's shock it out of him.
Right? Or oh, you're sick. Here, let's use leeches because it's obviously in your blood. How that works?
Absolutely. It's exactly how that works.
I like that South Park movie where like Cartman's cussing and they keep
Oh,
shocking them.
yes.
Yes,
I
that's
love
exactly
that.
what electroshock therapy is. It's like, okay, so I will go out and say this now. I kind of agree with it in a sense. The whole premise of that episode is that you can teach a human the same way you could teach a dog. To some extent, yes. That's why they put the shock collar on Cartman, because he's misbehaving, and they want to get him to not do that. So they shock him every time he cusses.
Pillow, pillow. Now say horse. Horse for sons of, now say big fluffy donkey. Now success. The child doesn't want to swear.
And like it follows the same premise. In certain aspects, you can punish a child the same way you would punish a dog.
I mean,
That
look at
doesn't mean
Pavlov.
that doesn't mean put a shock collar on your child, because that's how you get problems later on in their adult life.
Or
But
sent to jail.
or sent to jail for all that fun stuff.
Or they
But
develop a kink.
that's what I was getting at with the adult
Okay.
thing. Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
I
So
thought you meant
shouldn't do
like
that.
trauma.
No.
Among other
Trauma.
things.
What's that? Anyway,
It's a thing we don't address until we're in our late 60s.
medicine, it gets really funky when you look at the history of medicine and like what we thought was good. Like, we didn't care about lead, and whenever somebody got lead poisoning, it was you cheated on your wife, didn't you? This is God punishing you. That's why you're poisoned.
Right. Well, look at the pacemaker.
We blamed the original pacemaker,
Yeah.
that big hunking piece of fucking radioactive bullshit.
Let's see. There was a spring wound hand crank electromechanical instrument called the artificial pacemaker. It was used by making what was it? That's the wrong thing. But it was like
I'm actually curious about something now. Hang on. You can continue on.
But the first patient received an implantable pacemaker in 1958. Crazy. But it was created in 1932. Or look at your dialysis machine. Dialysis machine was made out of a washing machine. It was built from that's crazy.
So the last person to be given an artificial pacemaker is actually still alive. He's been in the pacemaker for 30 years.
There's one also, a lawyer. I think he's the last person living that is in an actual iron lung.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one.
Gotta love polio.
Gotta love it. No, there's a lot of things we looked at, and what was one? Oh, it was the original one of where Bram Stoker got his inspiration for Dracula. Actually, it happened here in the United States. It was believed, for whatever reason, that if you died of a disease and your entire family was being affected by that disease, and it was most likely vampirism, because for whatever reason that was. Well, there was a family, and a young girl, one of the daughters, got what is it? It was a real big fucking disease. You get it in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Syphilis?
No.
Herpes?
No.
Malaria?
Consumption.
Consumption. Oh yeah.
Whatever the fuck consumption is also known as.
I think it's also tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
That's the word I was looking for.
I was sitting there trying to go through it, but it's tuberculosis. That's what these people were getting sick by. It was tuberculosis, but people blamed vampirism. And the only way to cure vampirism, it was believed that you would dig up everyone who died. This family in question that I am talking about had 3 family members die, and a 4th one was infected by it. So you would go through the other 3 family members and you dig up their graves. If it looked like they were decomposing normally, no blood pumping through, back in the day it was believed hair growing and all that shit, then you were fine. You could continue on to the next person. So they went all the way back to the original person who got infected, dug up her grave, found fresh blood in the heart, and found her hair still growing and her nails still growing. They dug her up, grabbed her kidney or something.
It's usually they. If you want to get technical, ask the vampire expert here. They would dig them up. They would take out their heart, cut off their head, or they would bury them upside down. That way, when they tried to dig out of the grave, they would dig down the bottom of the casket and dig down into the earth. And then they would put a
That would
cage over
be
the grave. That way, if they did get out, they couldn't get out past the cage.
so that is what happened after what I am currently talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That is when we became somewhat more aware of tuberculosis, but we still believed in the vampire aspect of everything. So what I'm talking about here is you would dig out either their kidney or some other organ in the body. You would burn it, crush it up, and then take the ashes and put it in an elixir, which was literally just the ashes and water. And you would give that to whoever was sick next.
Mm-hmm. To try and cure it.
Well, to try and cure it, and that was supposed to be the way to do it. The only member of that family to get tuberculosis and live a long, full life went to a doctor, and the doctor didn't follow along with the whole fucking vampirism bullshit. Yeah, the whole superstition, and said, you know what? We don't have a cure for this. I suggest going somewhere nice, high altitude, pretty, and live out your life. Do what you need to do. Get your affairs in order.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy did that, went really far fucking north at really far fucking high altitude. And he lived a long and full life. And it's because when you're at a higher altitude, there's less air, which means the disease can't get what it needs to progress and all that other fun shit. So the dude lived a long and full life. People thought,
crazy how that works.
yeah, people didn't believe him because he came back to visit and immediately got like deathly sick again.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, "Oh, it's the vampirism! Give him this elixir!"
Yeah, no, it used to be called the White Plague due to the paleness of patients suffering.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
you have it's just what happened with the whole COVID bullshit. And yes, I'm talking about it. I don't really give a fuck. It's not done. But if you don't know about it, then what the fuck are you doing?
If you treat it like the elephant in the room.
Exactly. So with COVID and the vaccine, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off here. I don't really give a fuck. Okay. Oh, there's tracking chips in the machine. They tweet from the tracking chip in their hand. The government can track you from your phone, your computer, even your car. They don't need to inject a chip into your body.
I think the big thing with that, though, is a lot of people weren't really. There were like what you're getting at, but I think a lot of people were saying that COVID and all that was a hoax, and that we'll say, hey, COVID's a serious thing. Get the vaccine to prove a point that the government still runs Americans.
Well, yes, the government still runs Americans. That's
like, no, we can be like, hey, you need to get this or you'll die. So everyone lined up.
I could
and
see
they were
that.
like, haha, we got you. You did exactly what we did. We're still in charge.
And I would rather
those people are getting at.
I'm
not saying that's what they're doing or what. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. I get that mentality. I really do. It's a stupid one. Because which would you rather? Be alive or be dead?
You want me to answer that honestly?
Are you asking a millennial or a Gen Xer or a Gen Zer?
Well, my point here is relatively simple, because if the government is ruling you, sure, that sucks. Whatever. But why not live? I gotta choose my next words wisely. Why not live and prove the government wrong through peaceful negotiations?
Yes.
I say not.
Open up!
I tell you as discreetly as possible, so you don't think I'm telling you to overthrow the government. But no, it's just one of the things. It's like, oh, well, the vaccine puts the disease in your body. Yes, that is what vaccines do.
They put a dead version of it in your body for your own immune system.
A dead or weakened.
Yeah, dead or weakened.
A dead or weakened.
That way your own immune system fights it and you're prepared for it when it does eventually get
90% of the people who bitch saying, oh, it puts the vaccine in your body, most of those people didn't pay attention in high school. I guarantee you that. But
yes, that's what
the people who think, oh, they're putting COVID in your body, yes, that's exactly what they're doing. That isn't a secret. That's how vaccines work. Shut the fuck up. Our doctors are trying to get us there. Most of your doctors are trying to get you better.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because a dead patient doesn't pay the bills. They want you to keep coming back. That's the whole ideal of big pharma is they want you to keep coming back. They want you to stay sick. So if they're injecting a disease into you that kills you, that's kind of counter fucking productive.
Well, and that with big pharma also, so and my stepmother was a victim of this. So you have medicines that have side effects, like take this medicine, but you have the side effects of death, liver failure, heart failure, penile dysfunction, blah 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 blah. It's like they want you to take a pill, and then because of the side effects, take more pills to get rid of the side effect to
Yep.
get more side effects. My stepmother
Go
actually took a
weed.
pill, and one of the side effects was causes stroke-like symptoms. It was a 1 in 1,000 chance that people have that side effect. She was one of those people, and she looked like and acted like she had had a stroke. Like, why give someone medicine that's going to be worse than the affliction that they're gonna have? Like, it's
Originally,
crazy.
originally back in the day, I could see that being a good thought. And my reasoning for this is, hey, you have a disease that is literally going to kill you in 3 days. Here's a pill that's going to prolong your life, but you're probably going to experience, these side effects. I would rather prolong my life than, not.
Yeah.
So with that mindset, back in the day, mind you, that's okay. Nowadays, though, we've hit that point where we're starting to manipulate that mindset, and now it's more along the lines of, hey, we're going to give you this so that we have to give you this so that we have to give you this.
You wanna buy a sundial?
Yeah, you want to buy something? Yes, that's precisely the point that I'm getting at here. Um, it's just it's weird how it's gone. Greed is a fucking hell of a drug. The root of all evil, money.
Hmm. But no, it's still like I may not like the doctors at times, and I may hate having to go, but it's nice to be alive in a time where medicine and doctors can give you something that'll help you and not, hope it'll help you or,
Right.
I learned this from this doctor and who learned it from this doctor, who learned it from this doctor. So I think I'm going to do it right, but there's an actual fallback point. I watch Dr. Mike on YouTube all the
Dr. Mike
time.
is
He
glorious. You
is
guys should
glorious.
all go check him out. He's one of those doctors, and he puts these videos out to help you,
Mhm.
to inform you, to make sure you know what you're getting. Uh,
You know, he was actually in a YouTube boxing
Oh
match.
yeah.
yes, he posted about that actually on his
Mhm.
YouTube channel that he was going to box so and so.
Mhm. iDubbbz, I think.
That's the guy who was like, "Say something gay."
Yeah,
Nice.
jump off the counter and say something gay. I'm
Okay.
gay.
But no, like he talks about like he's an actual practicing doctor. Like and he's one of those doctors that doesn't go for the automatic, oh, you're overweight, we'll lose weight. He actually will go through and do other things to help find the problem, not just blame, weight on the reason why you don't feel good. Um and it's nice to see that there's actually doctors out there that do that. Like being an overweight woman myself, like you have no idea how many times I've heard from my doctors, "Well, your issue is because you're heavy set." No, my issue is because I'm sick. You know, "Oh, you have a cold. Lose weight and you won't get sick."
I like the
Bitch.
zoom in on on Sarah's titties that we're doing right
Well,
now.
I saw the line and it irritated me and I wanted to fix it. But titties, tibbies.
I never thought I'd look at my own sister's tits.
Your sister's got some big tits.
What are you doing, step bro?
Oh, they're twins. They're not steps. Fang and Sarah are twins.
Yeah, they're
What are you
twins.
doing, real bro? Okay, that's too far.
This is my
But
step
it's
ladder. I never knew my real ladder.
shut the fuck up. No, it's one of them things. I will say this now. If you are in a state or even a country where weed is legal, give that a shot before you ever take a pill that the doctor prescribes,
Oh yeah.
because not only will it most likely save you money, it'll also save you from all the side effects. Here's a side effect of the fucking edibles, man. I sleep.
Oh yeah. Well, even that
I get
just
tired.
well, there's also
Speaking of, I might come downstairs and get one.
what is it? It's Charlotte. There's one called Charlotte's Web, and I think there's this little girl that suffered grand mal seizures all the time like she would just sit there and seizure so badly, and they created this
Mhm.
strand of CBD that didn't have THC in it because it was for a little girl, but it was extracted from all
Goyle.
that, and they gave it to her, and it almost instantly stopped her seizures. Like,
Yes.
it is amazing to see what this can do. Like, there was somebody who suffers from Parkinson's. They had him sit down and smoke, you know, some weed, or it was either CBD weed or something like that, and instantly his seizures stopped. Like, he was able to
Mhm.
do stuff, hold things. It's like, it's amazing what it can do.
And
And
we're not sitting here telling you, oh, do hardcore
oh yeah,
drugs.
no, no, no.
Weed isn't hardcore. So I will state this now. I disagree with the people who say weed isn't addictive
Or
for
weed's a
one
gateway
reason.
drug. I tried weed. Now I'm gonna go rob a bank. No.
Well, no, the reason why I don't agree with the people who say weed is addictive, weed itself, by itself, is not addictive.
Oh no, it's not like cigarettes.
However, the mind effect that you get from it, that feel good attitude, the sleep, for example, this how well I sleep. I sleep better than I ever have after I've had an edible. And like even like this morning, even though I had gone to bed at 1 a.m., I woke up at 8 a.m. Bright-eyed, fluffy, bushy tail. Anyway,
Oh sweet.
he left the call a long time ago,
I know
sweetheart.
he left the chat and said "fuck y'all." Oh,
Bro, Jesus probably smokes weed. What are you talking
he
about?
probably
He
did.
probably did. What do you mean? Back then, weed was looked upon as the god drug.
Well, that and he was friends with whores and stuff like that, and
Yep.
he didn't, he didn't go around with the hoity-toity and all of them. He was with the poor, the people that weren't looked at as oh, they're beneath me. He was with those people.
Yep. So he probably smoked weed.
Every
The,
day.
yeah, exactly. So I'll say again, like, you know, if it's a serious medical condition, you got COVID, you got polio, you got, something going on with you. I'm not going to say cancer because apparently weed can help with cancer, apparently. But all these, unless you have a really super serious disease or an STD, something, weed can help you. It can help with depression. It can help with
Well, it's
anger problems. It can help with a number of different mental conditions.
well, findings suggest that certain cannabis can help relieve some of side effects of it, but studies have not shown that marijuana or individual cannabinoids can cure cancer. It'll help
No.
get rid of side effects.
So it can help you feel a little bit better if you have cancer. But other than that, if you've got something minor, like May was feeling pretty good yesterday. She's been sick for a while now, but she was feeling pretty good yesterday after having an edible.
Well, for me, it's like I have a hard time sleeping because I have insomnia, so it helps me go to sleep.
Hmm.
But, for others, it makes them creative. It helps them sleep. It calms down like mental health, like a lot of like CBD for some people really helps calm down their depression or calms down their anxiety. I know I'm a ball of freaking anxiety just because I always
Hmm.
worry about everything.
If I didn't operate a forklift at work, I would take an edible before going to work.
You can't.
But because I operate heavy machinery, I don't. I did that once when we first got the edibles. I didn't understand why. I took one at like 8. It didn't start affecting me until bedtime, and I woke up still high. That was probably the scariest experience I ever had operating my forklift, and I'm a damn good forklift operator. Nobody can say any different. But it scared. I didn't want to be on my forklift. I was scared to be on it because I was like, I'm going to hurt somebody. This is not a good time. And I had to sit there and I focused. I spent time in the bathroom just trying to waste time and sober up. It can be, if you do not work a job that requires a lot of bullshit, operating heavy machinery, what have you, then it could help you with work. Like, you sit there, blitzing off your fucking mind, having a good time.
There's one guy that worked there that smoked it all the time before.
Oh, there's all of second shift comes in. Second shift dock operators come into the fucking building, and you walk past him and go, whoo, god damn, smell like a fucking skunk.
There was one time it was him and my boss. He walked by. My boss walked by me. He was like, "Man, ooh, you smell really good. You probably shouldn't, but you smell really good, man." Because the boss that used to work there before you worked there, his name was Joe. He was like a 6 foot
Oh,
tall,
yeah.
blonde hair, beard, looked like he was a homeless man. He was real funny, but he's like, "Man, you smell real good. Probably shouldn't smell that good, but man, you smell real good."
You can't be that great with it now, but you
Mm.
know, that it's okay. Weed is okay when it's just like alcohol. When taken in moderation, weed is perfectly fucking fine.
Mhm.
It's not the devil's lettuce. You're not gonna take a hit off of a joint and then turn around and go, "Hey, meth seems like a good idea."
Yeah, no, people who do that, like, it is not like personal experience. It is not a gateway drug. Like, you're not
No.
gonna take a hit of marijuana and be like, "Man, meth sounds really good right now." No, that's not. That's the whole scare tactic ploy and everything. It's like if you do this, you're gonna, be doing harder things. You're gonna be sucking dick for crack. No, it's not how that works.
First off, I suck dick for fun.
Second of all,
But
don't judge me.
But no, it's one of those stupid fucking things. So many people are just like, weed, oh. It's like, if weed does anything, it can. May and I have had probably. This is another thing you're probably gonna have to edit out of the podcast, but I'm sorry, I'm drunk and I'm on a tangent.
Hmm.
One of the longest and probably for May best sexual experiences we've had in bed was when I was crossfaded off my fucking ass.
I will agree with you on that. There was one time that I had smoked with my ex, or one of my exes, and a couple of our friends. Well, like, she just gave me that look of like, it's going down when we get home. I
It's
was like,
going down.
okay.
So
All right.
she was a horny high. Okay.
So I was like, all right, bet. So then we got home, and she like immediately was like, oh fuck, I was supposed to go somewhere when we got back. I was like, you ain't going fucking nowhere.
You're gonna go into my bed and you're gonna fucking like it.
No, we went and got in the shower because she needed to sober up. She was like, she had someone coming to pick her up, and I just remember smashing in the bathroom, like everywhere on the bathroom. Like I had her up against too much detail.
Oh,
But
God.
yeah, it was being high or drunk, I think, are some really
So-
good fucks.
Crossfaded, for those of you who don't know, crossfaded is when you have consumed alcohol and then also get high. I'm going to use weed as an example here because it is the safest method. However, it doesn't have to be weed. So you get crossfaded, and for me, I have God knows what's wrong with me. Like, it hurts to breathe, which could easily be both a side effect of COVID as well as I smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll get to the point where it hurts so bad, I'm clutching my sides.
Officially all done.
So my sides will start hurting. I'll have to stop halfway through and clutch at my sides. I'm breathing real heavy. I also have a irregular heartbeat, which could be a heart murmur, but I'm not paying the medical bill to go in and have them tell me it's a heart murmur. So there's a lot of problems wrong with me when I am crossfaded. It's like I don't care, which is probably not a good thing to ignore your medical conditions, but
Your inhibitions are gone.
you really just don't give. I was ignoring the pain. I was ignoring everything. Now, when we were done and I stood up,
They're dying.
I was dying. I was clutching at my side. I was breathing heavy. The world was going black around me. But man, was it worth it.
It's the big one, Elizabeth. I'm going down.
So there are a number of benefits to getting crossfaded and smoking weed. If you're going to do these things, make sure you're in a safe environment. Make sure you have no plans to go fucking anywhere,
Or has
because
a designated driver.
because even when taking an edible, smoking a joint, smoking a bowl, hitting a bong, whatever the fuck you're doing, treat that like you just got done drinking, except double it. So it's not like, oh, I had 1 can of beer, I'm going to drive home. If you have 1 joint, that doesn't equal out. You should definitely not drive under 1 joint. It's too risky. You're going to end up hurting somebody or yourself or both. So do that shit responsibly. This has been your PSA from the White Wolfie.
Dee, 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 dee.
But
yeah.
So yeah, medical stuff, great. Weed, not bad. Be careful with doctors. Like another thing that bothers me medically, and I'm sure Kai and Grizz and all them adorable beans can attest to this. At least in other countries, it seems like you don't have to pay for the ambulance who comes and picks you up.
That's $1,600 here. Here in America.
Where we live, it is a $1,600 fee for the ambulance coming to save your life.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. Call an Uber. It'll be cheaper.
That's one thing that sucks about here.
You'll be dead before they get here.
Right. And that's one thing that sucks about
I'll take my
here
chances.
and other countries. Like other countries have free healthcare, and when I say free healthcare, it's not free as in, you walk in, walk out, you don't pay anything. Yes, you don't pay anything there, but it's taken out through the taxes of what you make. Your healthcare is paid for through you working
I have
with your
something
taxes.
for this. I have something for this. Just
Same thing with education over there. It's not free. It is taxed through what you pay. So you pay for it through your paychecks, through taxes. Like if they did that here in America, that would be like so many more people wouldn't die from just common things because they don't have insurance, which is the biggest scam in the freaking world. Trust me.
It is. Even my mom will attest that car insurance, life insurance, all that bullshit is the biggest scam in the world.
And yet it's not considered, and it's considered a luxury when you have to have car insurance to drive a car to go to work. It's ridiculous.
It's because a car is still considered a luxury, even though nowadays you kind of need one.
Yeah.
But so what I was getting at, once my brain catches up, and because ADHD is a hell of a fucking thing, the whole taxing increase that people are bitching about. They're like, oh, you can't do this because I don't want my taxes increased. In all reality, here in America, if they taxed every American $1, $1 fucking dollar, that'd be enough. We have billions of people in this country. So you tax billions of people $1, that's $1 billion. That covers medical bills.
Currently,
and then you got
in the United States, there is 329.5 million people.
Million. And yes, I know I'm a fucking struggle busing millennial trying to make his way living paycheck to paycheck.
Whatever you say, boomer.
I don't think you're a millennial. I think
I am a millennial. You and I, all of us in this call right now are millennials.
Oh, you mean
Anyone
you mean
born
us
between
entitled
19
people that think the world's handed to us? Trust me,
Yes.
I know it's not handed to us. I've been struggling since I was 18.
Anyone born between 1981 and I think they changed it now to 1995 when it was originally 2000. Anyone born between that time is a millennial. So
91 to 96.
What? They changed it that much?
The Pew Research Center defines millennials as born from 1981 to 1996.
I thought you said 91 for a second.
81 to 96.
Okay, so 96 is what they changed it to. It used to be 81 to 2000, and then Gen Z would be 2001 forward, is what it used to be. But apparently, a bunch of people bitched about being called a millennial or called a Gen Z when they're not a Gen Z.
Gen Z is 96 to early mid 2000.
Yeah. So anyway, you got. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do alcohol. It fucks you up. It really is. What was I talking about prior to getting on the millennial tangent? Come on, guys.
I don't know. I
Work with
forgot. Me. And I'm sober.
It was taxation. So
taxation.
you tax all these people for all this shit. And like people are freaking out over $1. It would only take a fucking dollar out of your paycheck. I'm not gonna miss it. Especially when, okay, cool, you took $1 out of my taxes. Ah, shit, I broke my leg. Guess what? I didn't pay for a broken leg. I'm now walking normal.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather pay that dollar out of my taxes than do that. And it's not even me being selfish, like, oh, you just want free healthcare so you can go do stupid shit. No, it's so
No.
my neighbor can go down the fucking road and blow up a thing of tannerite 20 feet away from his fucking legs
Again.
and still be okay. Like, it's stupid that we have to fucking pay for this shit.
Right. You know what? Why don't next podcast we have a What Grinds My Gears podcast? Things that really make us upset.
Baby, you speaking
Didn't we
my
already do
language.
this one?
No, we haven't done that one yet.
We haven't done a what grinds my gears?
No, we haven't. So how about next podcast we do a What Grinds My Gears? Things that piss us off. That way Fang can do what he does best and go on his tangents.
Yes.
So stay tuned for an
Baby.
hour worth of Fang bitching about everything.
Oh yes. I won't even let these other guys talk. Fuck it. It's my podcast now.
My podcast now. But
Look at
before
me.
we
Look at me.
leave, I wanted
I'm
to
the
touch up on
captain
one
now.
thing because we were talking about the minimum wage, right?
Yes.
So in 1938, the minimum wage was 25 cents. Went up to 30 cents, 40 cents, 75 cents, $1, $1.15, $1.25.
Where are we at year wise now?
So $1.25 is in 1963.
Love that.
So it goes up to $1.40 in 67. In 68, it goes up to $1.60. In 74, it goes up to $2, $2.10 in 75, $2.30 in 76. It goes into $2.65 in 78, $2.90 in 79, $3.10 in 80, $3.35 in 81, $3.30 or $3.80 in 90. So it's like it's been really consecutive. There's not been these long jumps until 81 to 90. And then from 90 to 91, it goes to 425. 96, it goes to 475. 97 goes to 515. In 2007, so a whole 10 years later, it goes from 515 to 585. A year later, it goes to 655. And then in 2009, goes to 725, where we are now.
So we've pretty much collectively gone up a decent amount almost every single year or every single couple of years, except for the long jumps that happened within a decade.
Yeah, except
And now
until
here we
now.
are. And now here we are in 2020, still using 2009's.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a tangent for that one, but I will hold it. Oh, I got something to say.
Oh, I got something to say. So remember, at 100 subscribers, I will be doing Tru Alpha's makeup. So make sure that you
Damn
are
right.
hitting that subscribe button. Go tell a friend, tell a family member. Get us up there to 100 subscribers.
Create 900 fake accounts.
Yeah, just make 56 more accounts for us and get us to 100. That's all we ask.
46. Your mouth is wrong.
46. Sorry, 46. I apologize. At 200 subscribers, I will be doing Fang's makeup, and then at 300
That's
subscribers,
146.
they will be doing mine. So
That's
I really
246.
want to do this. I really want to do Alpha's makeup. I want to do Fang's makeup, and I really want to go through
Don't
the
want them to
torturous
do us.
thing. Do me as well. So
Oh, I'll do you all
be
right.
quiet. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button for
Yeah.
us. Visit our Patreon. You can be involved
Causing
in
more
forums,
editing work for me.
one-on-one meetings, being a podcast, do behind-the-scenes content, art lessons, and so much more. No donation is too small. Every little bit helps us to bring you more quality content.
Quality.
Visit our spring, where you can get all your coolest, latest merchandise. Use WolfCast20 to get 20% off all your. Visit our Dubby. Use WolfCast10 to get 10% off all your orders. Energy powder that has no sugar, no crash, and makes you feel fantastic. Follow us on all of our social medias. We really love you guys, and we really love the support. So go ahead and follow us. Find us on Facebook at WolfCast Podcast. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell. That way you always know when I post videos on Monday. We love you guys. Thank you for sitting here listening to us rant, and hopefully with learning what you did about medicine and that how amazing and wonderful it is, hopefully you're a little less scared of it now. Thank you for letting us be the #1 podcast in your heart. Hopefully we've made you happy, and we want to make sure we always see you smiling, happy, and informed. So, we love you guys, and we will see you in the next stream. Bye!
What?
Later.